This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Masters of the Universe Filmation Ultimate He-Man and Ultimate Skeletor from Super 7. Now as you can see, when you get both of these, they will be in the brown super packaging that we've seen many times before. Removing the boxes from both figures, we can see that both pieces are on a vintage style blister card packaging. Turning both packages around, we can see some really cool cross sells of other figures from this lineup. But before we crack these things open, I want to take a more in-depth look of these awesome packages. Alright, so I really want to take a look at these card backs here because I think the packaging for these guys is just really cool, and I actually really like what Super 7 is doing as a whole. The card backs are on that vintage style card back again with that vintage Masters of the Universe burst right there. It's really cool looking, even has the dimple in the bubble like the vintage packaging, which is great. We got the Super 7 logo right here at the bottom. You can look at turning around right here. We get some new artwork that's kind of mimic that old school animation and whatnot, but we got a cross sell of all the different variations of different characters and stuff that we have here. We have a little how-to little dial right here of how you interchange the heads, which is pretty funny, but I love that. It seems like back here we got some type of card and all that, but those are very cool. Same thing with Skeletor, that vintage card back. It's really nice. Turn around, you got the cross sell like so, and we got some artwork back there and whatnot. It just looks really nice. Now you can interchange the head again. I just think that's really awesome. You know, one thing I will say though, and I talked about this with the 5.5 figures I just recently reviewed, I really wish Super 7 would give us more types of collector-friendly packaging. That's the one thing they need to get right. Collector-friendly packaging, because these are really beautiful, and I can see people wanting to display these and play with them. So they really need to start coming out with some kind of like removable clamshell or something like that, because that would make these so much better. So Super 7, please start giving us stuff like that, because these are gorgeous, and a lot of us collectors hate to tear stuff up like this, and we really don't want to buy two sets just to have that. So these are really cool, but that is kind of an issue with me. And here's both figures out of their boxes. And man, these are two really rad pieces from Super 7. I am stoked to finally get these. It really seems like forever ago since I ordered them, but they were well worth the wait. These are two great action figures that I have always wanted since I was a kid. This is the He-Man and Skeletor that I've always dreamt of. They're so very cool, and I cannot wait to check them out with you guys. But before we take a closer look at the figures, let's take a look at their accessories. So starting off with He-Man, we get 4 interchangeable heads, his shield, his axe, and his power sword. And for Skeletor, we get 2 interchangeable heads, his jewel, his Havoc staff, his sword, and his axe. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a closer look at Filmation He-Man and Skeletor. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at He-Man and Skeletor. I cannot explain to you how happy I am to have these guys in my collection, finally. I missed out on the first versions, so I had to get these ultimate versions. I am super stoked, and I'm really happy to have these guys. It's just, thank you, Super 7, for giving us these super cool figures that I love. So I'm a little giddy right now because I'm really stoked to have these. So let's take a closer look at them. So I'm going to start off with He-Man first. Now, first things first, we do get these cool little file cards right here. Kind of mimicking like that whole covers of the old mini comics and whatnot. It says by the power of Grayskull, and some really cool artwork of He-Man like that with Castle's Grayskull in the background. We turn these around, and instead of actually having it being a mini comic, we actually get a file right here, which is He-Man's bio. So let me get my camera to focus like that. So if you want to read that, go ahead and pause it right now. And that works out really, really cool. So we got a nice image right there. And we can see this whole thing is written by Skrullos. And I wonder if we'll ever get a Skrullos figure in this line. I kind of think we will at some point, but who knows? So He-Man himself is really cool looking. I love this a ton. Just done in that more classic style, but keeping it Filmation to where things are a little more simplified and just look straight out of the cartoon, which is amazing. So we have the more simple bracers and whatnot, the belt, the crotch fur piece right here and whatnot, and the boots are more simplified. All looks really, really good. We got his holster for the sword. And is he supposed to holster it to the left like that? I'm not sure. I kind of just realized that a couple minutes ago. Is that accurate? I really don't know. Let me know in the comments if that's accurate, because I really don't remember, to be honest with you. So, but that's still very cool. The more Filmation style holster and whatnot compared to like the classics and whatnot, but that's still so freaking awesome. I love the way this looks a ton. One thing I will say that I don't like, and I kind of complained about that with the 5.5 figures that we got, I just reviewed not too long ago. The plastic seems a little too glossy for me, but that's for my preferred taste. But it still looks really nice. The musculature and whatnot all looks really good. The harness doesn't look like it's meant to come off. It is kind of glued like right here. So, I mean, you could take it off if you really wanted to, but it's not really meant to do so. So either way, very nice. So we do got some interchangeable parts here. So we got 4 interchangeable heads. We do get the standard He-Man head, which works very, very nice. I love that a ton. It just captured the look of the cartoon perfectly. We do get the laughing He-Man head or laughing Prince Adam head, which is hilarious. I know a lot of people who follow He-Man and Masters Universe like online and whatnot, they'll know what that head is. It came out great. We get this wicked robot head, which I always thought was really gnarly from the cartoon and whatnot. But that just looks insane. They captured that there with those really bugged out eyes and teeth. It just looks really gnarly. But I think they did a great job with that. And then probably my favorite head is the one with the white glowing eyes. Why is that my favorite head? Because now we officially have a Filmation faker. Yes, that's how he looked in the cartoon, which is great. He looked just like He-Man, no blue skin, just with the white glowing eyes, and there we go. So that came out really, really cool, and I kind of want to pick up a second one just to have a Filmation faker. That's just me, and I do at some point kind of hope, this is just me random thinking, a Filmation figure like this, but with like the blue skin and orange armor and whatnot. That's just me hoping, because I'm a giant faker fan, so I think it's very, very cool. So the head's just chained out, just their own little ball pegs, just like so. And they pop on fairly easily, pretty smooth and whatnot. So I dig that a ton. That just works out great. So we do get his Filmation sword right here. I think the sword came out awesome, very nice. I think that looks really, really cool. They did capture the look of the actual version of the cartoon very well. We can actually, let me do this real quick. I'll pull this off over here, so bear with me here. Compared to the classic sword, so we can see the different versions like that. And you can see how those, I wish this was a little more of a different, I don't know, hue of color, because it is just molded in this one plastic, which I get because it's supposed to be based on a cartoon. I'm not a fan of the hue of the plastic. I don't know, that's probably just me. It's a little too bluish for my taste. I kind of wish a little more on the silver or gray side, but again, that's just me. So he does hold it in his hand fairly nice. The fingers on the hands are pretty soft, pliable plastic, but not too pliable, and they hold on there very nice. Now, I kind of wish the articulation on the wrist was more holding up, so like when he does a sword aloft and whatnot, and do the whole for the power of Grayskull, and it doesn't quite have that articulation the way I'd like, but you can still get it into some poses like that, and you'll see some pictures later on, which works out very, very cool. And hey, if you want, you do have the option, if you have those beasts from the classics line, you can get He-Man and Skeletor on their mounts. So as you can see, He-Man looks really cool on Battle Cat. And I kind of wonder if we'll ever get a Filmation Battle Cat and Panther. I don't know how dramatically different they would look, but I would personally be all in for that, seeing versions of those two in the Filmation form. So we also do get his axe, which I think is great. That looks awesome. The sculpt is gorgeous. That's just a really cool weapon. And then his shield. The shield is huge, so his little handle right back in there in his palm, like so, and you can just kind of see how big it is in front of his whole body. That's rad, man. I love this accessory, bro. Just a really cool addition to this whole set. It's just a very cool figure. Alright, so I want to run down He-Man's articulation. So the head is on a ball joint, does roll around like so, does turn left and right, does look up and down, and pivot side to side a little bit. Arms can go full 360, you just gotta watch out for the sword back there. Go all the way up that far, rotation at the biceps, single bend at the elbow, but it gets 90 degrees perfectly, so that's really nice. Rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. And again, I wish this hinged the other way to hold his sword up, but is what it is, you know. It's just one of those things I kind of wish they did differently, but it's not terrible. You crunch this forward all the way that much, back that far, rotation at the waist. We got hip joints that kick forward that much, back that far. His whole tunic piece right here is a softer plastic, so it doesn't really hinder articulation all that much. Rotation at that upper thigh. We got a single bend at the knee, just below 90, you know, works out okay though. Rotation at the boot right there, ankles go up and down, and we do have a really freaking good ankle rocker, so that's really, really nice. He-Man is an incredible piece. Man, super happy to have this in the collection. Thank you, Super 7. This is pretty rad. Alright, so now I want to take a look at Skeletor. This is my boy. Skeletor is actually one of my favorite pop culture characters ever. He has something iconic about him, and really stoked. This is the Skeletor figure I always wanted since I was a kid, and I finally have it, and I cannot explain how stoked I am that this guy's in my collection. I'm really giddy about this, and just very, very cool. So he looks amazing. I love the look of this simplified harness right here, and one of the crossbones like that. The tunic piece just looks all great. Again, softer pliable plastic. That looks really rad. The more simpler boots without claws and whatnot, without the toed feet, all looks really nice. I love the hood with the little tail at the back and whatnot. Just looks really, really nice. I kind of wish there was a little harness for his sword, but I get that there's not. You know, you can just slide it back there if you really wanted to, but that's not really meant to do that. But the head looks great. So we do get two interchangeable heads here. So we get the standard head just like so, with that yellow, just bright yellow skull with a black back setting. Just looks really good. It makes that head pop so perfectly. I love it so much. And then we do get the laughing Skeletor head, which is amazing, with the big wide open mouth, and he just looks super happy, and I just think that is incredible. Such a great head sculpt to get with this particular figure. With him, we also do get a card back just like this, Master of the Universe, with some great artwork of Skeletor like that, and the evil Lord of Destruction. So we turn this around, and we can get his bio just like so. So if you want to go ahead and read that, pause it now. And we can see some great artwork of Skeletor on the throne just like that, and of course, written by Scrollos. So very, very cool. We also do get his sword, which is really nice, done in a similar type of plastic. It's a little darker. I do like this one a lot better with the crossbones and whatnot. Very nice. I love that weapon a ton. We also do get his axe, which is incredible with that big orb at the top. Just works fantastic. I'm in love with this figure, in case you can't tell. He holds all the weapons just great. I think that turned out amazing. Just a very cool piece all around. And for the life of me, you guys might want to help me out. I do not remember what this is called. I know it's a little gem in a box. Does it shoot a laser? I remember. For some reason, I remember it shooting a laser or something like that. Is this a thing that transformed He-Man into gold? I can't remember. I really don't remember. So help me in the comments and remind me what this is, because I, for the life of me, cannot remember. One thing that does kind of suck he can't really hold this with either of his hands because he has to have more of like an open palm hand and whatnot. But you'll see a picture at the end of the video where I did kind of rest it on there, and it does kind of work. So still very cool. And my favorite accessory is Havoc's staff. I freaking love this thing. Giant pink, really light lavender handle with that skull right there. And you can kind of see how the skull peeks through like that with the mouth. Just looks fantastic. And I'm going to bring in the classics Havoc staff, and you can see how those differ like so. I just think those are really, really cool. The actual Filmation one is actually a little taller than the classic staff, but you can see the difference like though. And again, that's just really freaking cool, and I love that a ton. This Skeletor, man, this is one of those things that's just like one of my dream toys, and he might be in my top 10 toys of 2019 video at the end of the year, because damn, I am falling in love with this guy. Alright, so now I want to run down his articulation separately. So his head is on a ball joint, but it is really hindered by the hood of his hood. But it's still, you can get a lot of motion in it. It does roll around, does turn left and right, but the hood is going to hit the shoulders up here, so you can't get a full to the left and right, and you can't really go up and down all that much because it does drape fairly low to the back. The arms can go full 360, and since this whole harness right here is a softer plastic, doesn't really get in the way. Arms go all the way up like so, rotate at the bicep, single bend at the elbow, just about 90, maybe just below. Rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. We get an ab crunch that brunches forward that much, back that far like so. Rotation at the waist. This whole thing is pliable, so it goes up about that far at the hips, back about that far, splits about that much. Rotation in the upper thigh, single bend at the knee, rotation at the boot. Ankles go up and down, and a freaking good ankle rocker. So overall, I absolutely love both these figures. They are amazing. I hope for all of you that are Masters of the Universe fans that you get these in your collections, because they are some of the best toys I have ever owned. I truly love these pieces. Now, I know some people have problems with Super 7. I personally don't. I just see cool toys, and if I like them, I like them. I enjoy what I enjoy, and I think you guys should all do the same, because these are really rad pieces, and I think they are definitely most absolutely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here they are standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your He-Man comparison, here he is standing next to the Masters of the Universe Classics He-Man figure from Mattel and the 5.5 Filmation He-Man from Super 7. And for your Skeletor comparison, here he is standing next to the Masters of the Universe Classic Skeletor from Mattel and the Filmation 5.5 Skeletor from Super 7. And just for fun, here they are standing next to little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Filmation Ultimate He-Man and Ultimate Skeletor from Super 7. Now overall, I freaking love these toys. This is the He-Man and Skeletor that I have dreamt of my entire life. They capture the look of the cartoon just perfectly. I love all the accessories, the paint apps and sculpt are gorgeous, and I really dig the articulation. I do have problems with the glossy plastic and the fact that we can't reseal the packages. That's a little bit of a disappointment to me, but still, I love these pieces and they are absolutely perfect for my collection. I could not be more proud to own a He-Man and Skeletor figure since the original toys from when I was a kid. These are so awesome to me that I give them a rating of 4.5 Bat Bombs out of 5. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.